Fancha has collapsed. Nearly 100 billion yuan vanished overnight, affecting hundreds of thousands of people. Fancha was the most prominent and financially driven brand in the Chinese Pu'er tea market in recent years. However, some believe it was a pyramid scheme disguised as a tea business. On August 3rd, Fancha announced its bankruptcy and restructuring, indicating that investors might not get their money back. On the day of the announcement, victims began gathering at Fancha's headquarters, demanding answers. By August 5th, more and more people had gathered. Victims cried about their hard-earned money being lost. Some people were wailing, "Fancha collapsed, we can't take it anymore." The crowd was emotional and conflicts broke out. Ironically, while victims were causing a commotion at Fancha's headquarters, the company's top executives continued to brainwash employees. In a video, Fancha's founder, Zhang Chaogen, along with employees, chanted, "Face the difficulties, overcome the challenges, let's work hard together." Most people were raising their fists and seemed very enthusiastic. According to public records, Fancha Holdings Guangzhou Company Limited was established in September 2022 with a registered capital of 10 million yuan. Zhang Chaogen is the legal representative. Despite Zhang Chaogen reassuring the investors, there were reports online that Fancha's signage was removed overnight on August 5th. Fancha's announcement stated that the restructuring would take 70 days. However, netizens said the plan was full of loopholes, childish, and not worth considering. Victims believed it was just a delaying tactic by Fancha. When Fancha's restructuring announcement came out on August 3rd, everyone knew it was over. This was even bigger than last year's Changshi tea scandal. Also based in Guangzhou, Fangchun, Fancha's case involved hundreds of billions of yuan, wiping out the savings of tens of thousands of families overnight. High returns always come with high risks. Fancha went from 0 to 100 in less than 6 months. In October 2022, Fancha opened 116 dealer stores nationwide simultaneously. By the 339th day since its establishment, its core dealers exceeded 340, with a new Fancha store opening almost every day. In just 2 years, Fancha quickly became a giant in the tea market. The legend that a tea company could earn 1 billion yuan a year from trading Fancha made countless people dream of financial freedom. They promised at least a 20% return. Those who got in early did make money, buying luxury cars and houses. Otherwise, people wouldn't have followed. Once a product gets tied to finance, it's no longer just a product. Like alcohol and tulips, Fancha's success relied on 2 factors: marketing hype and elevating the product's image. Fancha often released promotional content showcasing its strength, like opening the first international flagship store in South Korea and appearing on a big screen in New York's Times Square. They also promoted Fancha as a way to honor Chinese tea culture, boosting the image and the price of their tea until it was almost as expensive as gold per gram. Fancha's scheme was like any other scam. First, they created artificial supply-demand imbalance, then hyped high returns and high collectible value. Later, they manipulated prices to create an illusion of skyrocketing value. When the bubble grew too big, its burst was inevitable. Unfortunately, the victims were left to suffer. It's reported that this collapse of Fancha involves amounts as high as 50 billion yuan, or even 100 billion. Some netizens even say it could be as much as 300 billion. According to several tea market operators in Fangchun, Guangzhou, signs of trouble with Fancha appeared about 10 days ago. On July 22nd, Fancha suddenly announced that recently the bank accounts of the company and some dealers had been frozen. The bank replied that these accounts were expected to be unfrozen in early August 2024. To ensure transaction security during the account freeze, the company suggested all platforms and dealers delay all order deliveries by 10 days, resuming normal operations after August 2nd, 2024. Since Fancha is the largest tea brand in Fangchun tea market with a vast network of dealers, the announcement caused a huge uproar in the market. Rumors spread that the company was having difficulties making payments. People questioned why Fancha didn't disclose the balance of the frozen bank accounts. If there was a risk of collapse, why didn't investors withdraw their funds sooner? Human nature is like that. Some people always think they won't be the unlucky ones. Just days before, Fancha held a grand seminar, and no one believed that such a high-end business could collapse so suddenly. On July 25th, Fancha held a grand mid-year dealer conference in Foshan, a city famous for its Lingnan culture. The event, themed Gathering Momentum for Breakthrough, Win-Win Cooperation, gathered many dealers, partners, and and industry elites to discuss the brand's development strategy and explore the latest market trends. The scene was so grand that it clearly portrayed the brand at its peak, with no sign of decline. But everything happened so suddenly. Some netizens lamented that most of the deceived were seasoned business veterans. They wondered why tea, a renewable commodity, had become a financial product in China. Who's to blame? Others bluntly said that tea is originally a consumer product for the masses. When a pound of tea is hyped up to tens of thousands of yuan, it's just a tool for gift-giving and money laundering. Those who could afford such tea have mostly been arrested, so how could it not collapse? The once sky-high prices of Fancha have finally fallen, turning into something that no one cares about. This is a tea retailer showing the prices of some Fancha and tea cakes from other brands in his shop. One Fancha tea cake previously sold for 120,000 yuan. Another one was priced at 100,000 yuan. The prices of the other tea cakes were all over 40,000 yuan. He says that all these teas are now dirt cheap. A netizen asked the shop owner about the cost of these teas. The owner replied, around 300 yuan. The netizen said, that's too high. It wouldn't be more than 100 yuan. A tea merchant commented, you have no idea how much mental pressure those of us who didn't buy Fancha tea have been under these past 2 years, watching them flaunt their wealth. They kept telling us to buy in, and when we didn't, they looked down on us, saying we had no vision and didn't understand business. I can never forget those contemptuous looks. Those who look down on others are now on the brink of collapse. Maybe only those who can control their inner desires will have the last laugh. Tea as an investment is like the poppy flower in China's capital market, blooming and withering time and again. Even though many were ruined by the last scam, countless more will still rush headlong into the next one. Fancha Tea Market keeps repeating these dramatic cycles. Located in the southwest of Guangzhou's Liwan district, Fancha Tea Market is the largest tea trading market in China, with over 1,000 varieties of tea from all over the country and annual transactions reaching up to 5 billion yuan. After 2000, tea in China began to attract capital. Starting with Pu'er tea, various teas were hyped to sky-high prices and even given financial attributes, becoming investments like stocks or futures. Fancha is the birthplace of financial tea and the origin of many tea scams. Financial tea collapse is nothing surprising here. Shortly before Fancha's collapse, another scam involving Changshi tea had concluded in Fanchun. In December 2023, the new tea brand Changshi tea collapsed. Many tea merchants gathered outside its store, demanding refunds. According to Chinese mainland media, merchants bought a type of Changshi tea for about 50,000 yuan per unit on November 29, 2023, and by December 1st it had dropped to about 2,000 yuan. After suffering heavy losses, the merchants went to Changshi's store to seek justice. On December 4th, around 1 p.m., the chairman of Changshi Tea was taken away by the police. Changshi Tea, officially known as Guangzhou Changshi Tea Company, was led by Cheng Shihong, a 21-year-old man from Chaoshan. Chinese media Jiemian News reported that He Fangfang, the owner of the He Fangfang Tea House, located less than 100 meters from Changshi Tea, believed this unassuming young man had a big background. They said, I thought he was a very powerful second-generation rich kid. When Changshi Tea was founded, they held a grand ceremony and gave out large red envelopes in chat groups daily, and even distributed mooncakes during the Mid-Autumn Festival. They managed relationships very well. He Fangfang said that the 4 tea cakes on his tea table were once hot commodities, with a purchase price of over 50,000 yuan. Just 2 weeks later, their market price was only 2,000 or 3,000 yuan, causing him to lose about 200,000 yuan. According to initial statistics from tea merchants, over 500 tea households were involved in this dispute, with amounts exceeding 500 million yuan. Chinese media reported that Changshi Tea was registered in June 2023 and entered the Fancha Tea Market in September. The scam operated like this. Upon entering the market, they immediately started promoting their products with limited releases, inviting merchants to launch events to build hype, and quickly gathering many merchants and individual investors into trading groups via WeChat. Soon, some merchants began selling in the WeChat group. Other merchants would then raise prices to resell the products, and this cycle continued. After a certain price increase, no more bids were made. Every few days, the same pattern repeated, with small price increases each time. Eventually, these selling merchants began repurchasing products at high prices, far above the price hikes. Merchants noticed the profit between selling and buying, attracting more participants, and the product prices soared. This cycle lasted 1 to 2 months, driving prices to terrifying levels. One product's price jumped from 31,000 yuan to a peak of 72,800 yuan, and another from 41,880 yuan to 60,500 yuan. Seeing multiple products behaving this way, merchants began to believe Changshi Tea's products would always find buyers and guarantee profits. The originator perfectly exploited human greed. Once you start believing, the scam begins. When enough merchants and investors were involved and the prices were sky high, the game abruptly stopped without warning, and the repurchase prices plummeted. By the time everyone realized that they'd been scammed, it was too late. This is a typical Ponzi scheme involving financial tea, not sophisticated, but always enticing with high profits, ultimately leading many to ruin. Financial tea scams have become widespread overseas, reaching the Chinese community in the US. On December 16, 2023, World Journal reported that scams similar to financial tea were spreading in the Chinese community in New York. A report mentioned that a 56-year-old Chinese man in Bensonhurst filed a police report after being scammed. He met a Chinese woman on Facebook who invited him to join a tea investment chat group. She kept persuading him to invest in Taiwanese tea for big profits. Following her instructions, he wired $52,000 and $39,000 to a bank account. Later, he realized it was a scam. He quickly informed the bank to freeze the account, but the money had already been transferred. When he tried to contact her, he found himself blocked. Frustrated, he reported the incident to the local police. Despite the police forming a special investigation team, they couldn't identify the woman or determine if more people were caught in this financial tea scam. Some people say that when tea becomes a financial product, high returns inevitably come with high risks. Investors are all hoping to make a profit in this game of musical chairs. When to invest and when to pull out all depends on their luck. Speaking of financial tea, we must mention Wu Yuanzhi, considered the pioneer of financial tea in China. With an overseas and financial background, Wu Yuanzhi brought the capital game into the tea industry, inventing financial tea. In 2004, when the Menghai Tea Factory in Yunnan was privatized due to poor management, Wu Yuanzhi's Bowen Group acquired it for billions. In 2007, hype over Pu'er tea, mainly led by Hong Kong and Taiwan merchants, quietly ended. Then Wu Yuanzhi's Chinese Pu'er tea emerged. In 2008, Wu used high-profile promotion, limited releases, and hunger marketing tactics. During the Beijing Olympics, he promoted his Pu'er tea on primetime CCTV commercials. He also limited supplies to distributors while rapidly expanding exclusive stores, which grew to over 1,000 in just a few years. In 2012, Wu started the tea financialization model, creating a dealer futures trading model and the Dai Tea price index. Each Dai Tea had a serial number, and like a stock chart, you could check its daily price, fluctuations, and latest trends. Besides investing in listed tea, Dai Tea's hype also extended to futures trading, allowing investors to trade unlisted Dai Tea products at estimated prices. As tea prices rose, they would sell to the next person, profiting from the cycle. Wall Street Insights reported that in Fancha market, the frenzy among tea brokers watching market trends on their phones created a craziness in the offline market comparable to the A-share stock market. 3 years later, Wu Yuanzhi's financial tea empire collapsed. Since then, incidents like difficulty delivering physical goods and bosses absconding have occasionally happened in Fangchun. Even so, it's hard to stop investors dreaming of overnight riches. Fangchun tea traders believe they won't be the last person in this game of musical chairs.
The biggest financial tea collapse in history has happened. Those who ran fast could salvage something, but those who lagged behind lost everything. Didn't the recent 500 to 600 million yuan financial tea incident serve as a warning? Yet, we're seeing the same chaotic and desperate scenes again. During an avalanche, no single snowflake feels responsible.
Will Fancha's collapse truly end the era of financial tea scams? Maybe it's too early to say. Every social malignancy has its roots in the soil that allows it to thrive. On May 24, 2024, Southern Magazine published an article titled Fancha, The Rise of a Chinese Brand Story. It praised Fancha for its strong, rich flavors, superior quality, national design, and cultural essence, contributing to the high-quality development of China's tea industry. The article states, featuring strong body sensations, high concentration, and rich taste as product characteristics, Fancha has successfully emerged with its superior quality, trendy national design, ethnic style, and rich tea aroma. The company consistently aligns with contemporary trends, resonates with the industry, deeply integrates brand philosophy with traditional Chinese culture, and drives the high-quality development of China's tea industry, effectively telling the brand story of Made in China. Sohu News further praised Fancha, commending the company for its innovative approach of new ways to enjoy old tea. By focusing on innovation, quality, and enhancing advanced productivity, Fancha continues to trigger hot sales in the tea market and has become an industry leader in tea innovation, being the first tea company to break through with brand acceleration. The article states that Fancha's high-quality development has a positive impact on driving the industrial chain and employment rates, providing stable channels in direct employment, indirect employment, entrepreneurial opportunities, and job training. An article from China Business Daily on December 26, 2023, mentions that Fancha has found the growth secret of the tea industry through its clear high-end tea market positioning, the support of trendy national design, unique Chinese cultural connotations, and practical brand operations. A simple financial tea scam was elevated by official media to a level associated with livelihood, employment, technological innovation, and advanced productivity. Could the Fancha CEO bear all the responsibility for the scam? Since many high-tech products were restricted by the West, China has shown a near-obsessive enthusiasm for anything labeled as a national brand. Fancha and others have capitalized on this, using traditional tea culture to create national brands that build cultural confidence. With official approval and media support, they brazenly built vast capital scams, exploiting investors.